Hello everyone, it's your boy Terrence here with Hollywood Already Did It, and I just came back from the theaters from watching The Last Black Man in San Francisco, one of the hidden gems I spoke about for June 2019, and after the jump, I'll let you know what I think. So for those of you who don't know or did not watch my video about the June 2019 hidden gems, The Last Black Man in San Francisco is about a man named Jimmie who is on this search for belonging, his home, friendship, life, love, within the realms of gentrification that is happening in the city of San Francisco. It is a beautifully shot film from first-time director Joe Talbot, and I'll just quickly get into my likes. So what I liked about this movie is that it does a great job of not putting black men in a box. It creates this thing that says that black men are a monolith. One black man is not one person or one type of person. They are dual, many of people. They are, they can be your best friend. They can cuss you out the next moment. They can have your back one moment. They can beat you up the next minute. There are layers to every man. But it has always been portrayed in society that black men are one way. Instead of saying that basically they are and we are as multifaceted as every other person is in the world. Two, this movie gives a great look at the opposite side of gentrification. A lot of people immediately, especially I'm from Detroit, a lot of people automatically look at gentrification and say, oh, it's bad and it's bad. And for some reasons, for some cases it is, because you're removing the soul or what the heart of that city is or that area is for something different instead of merging together and kind of like working hand in hand. And when you do that, you displace people. You move people who what their home is, what they've always known as home. You remove them from that, and you kind of have them now go on this journey or this look, just figure out what is home to them. What does home mean? What does life mean? What does this mean? What do my friendships mean? And this movie does a great job of showing you the heartfelt side of the people that are affected by gentrification. A lot of times, unfortunately, it just becomes cut and dry. It's numbers to numbers for people who are buying businesses and buying this and buying that. But this gives you an artistic and beautifully shot look as to those people that are most affected when gentrification happens. Three, what I think this movie does really well, it's quirky. It has some witty ways of slapping you in the face and like, yeah, you're doing some stupid things. Everybody, not just one race, everyone is doing some stupid things or have done some stupid things or have lived a life, or you're talking about the simplest, like there's a preacher who's spouting off what would believe to be crazy things for all the time. But a lot of the things that he's saying, he's not that far off. He's not that wrong, but because it's coming from that person. And they give you these type of information through many different vehicles. But I also think as a storytelling wise, this thing does a great job of moving the story along, because this is a 2-hour film, but it never feels like I'm bored or I never get antsy. I'm just like, oh, I'm in it because everything's shot gorgeously and it tells you stories in layers and it peels back. So instead of giving you a bunch of stuff at one time or giving you all of it at once, you get it through dialogue or through events that happen, and you kind of just start piecing things together. Now that's a very smart way of doing directing and storytelling. And in a 2-hour film, you never are back-ended or up-ended at the beginning of a film to kind of, you get all your information here or there, you get it throughout, and that makes the pace of the film work and feel a lot better. You get twists and you get turns, or you get things that you did not quite see coming. But it all comes together in a great form of storytelling. This would now be the time that I would actively say my dislikes. For the first time ever, I don't have any dislikes for this film. I just don't. And that's not saying that this film is perfect, because it's not. I do think there are moments when sometimes you become too artsy, what somebody would believe to be too artsy, where you're taking shots and you're doing these gorgeous, sometimes sort of like Moonlight does a couple of times, where you're taking pull out shots of someone's face, or you're zooming in on those faces and here and there. To some, that would be considered a dislike. For me, I think it all works because you're showing also, you're getting into the in-depths of the heart of the people of these. What this movie is about the people of San Francisco, new and old, but specifically telling you the story of the many layers of people that have been affected by what San Francisco has done and has pushed out a group of people. And I think anybody who lives in Detroit or Chicago, any of the places that had inner cities where you now are seeing Whole Foods and Sprouts and all kinds of random stuff, good stuff, pop up, but do so with the thought or the victimization of the people that are around or that were there first. And it's really interesting if you pay attention to the story that there are people who were victimized before our culture got victimized. Like, we removed someone else from their land and stuff, and then we took over, and then the same thing happened to us. So it's a cool story to see that, like, we weren't the only ones that had been affected by this. This has been a cycle that has happened time and time and time again. So that's how I feel about the movie on our ranking scale of play it again, Sam, once is enough, or give me a time stone, I never need to think about this movie again. This is going to be on the play it again, Sam. It's a beautiful film that I think anyone who's been affected by gentrification, either on either side, either they've been the person or the group of people that have gone into a city and gentrified, or vice versa, they've been the ones affected. I think you should see this film just to kind of get the opposite viewpoint of what it means to be affected by this. It also is a beautiful story about family and love and friendship, that and trying to be someone that you are not. I think that's also a very underlying point in this movie as well. So you should check it out. I know it's an independent flick, so look for it. If you see it in the theater near you, some AMCs are playing it. If they have an independent film run, they are playing it as well, so you can use your stubs list on it if you have it. But I think you should, if it's available near you, you should be checking this film out. All right. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, this video, share it with a friend, let everybody know about the place. First 500 folks we get in here will be the founders of the channel, and I'll give somebody something nice for hanging around and letting everybody know about the place, okay? You can hit us up on HollywoodAlreadyDidIt@gmail.com, or you can find us on Twitter at HollywoodADI. We also have a podcast by the same name that's on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, anywhere that plays podcast. As the last episode, we talked about Men in Black International and how that movie did not quite live up to the story of the original trilogy. And based on what's been coming out lately about that movie, you can kind of tell why that happened. But again, if you haven't seen this movie, if you don't even know about this movie, if you need something different with all the sequels that are not doing that well at the box office, this is the movie that you should be checking out. So once again, like always, I got my ticket. You got yours?